Welcome to my home in Vermont. This Mainer mom moves to Vermont. That's what maybe my channel will become. I don't know. I just thought I would get you caught up a little bit while I get this laundry folded. So we moved into our home and everything is a mess. Oh my goodness. It's been so many years since I moved, since 2001, and I barely have any memories of moving, quite honestly. So I will tell you this. I have decided that I've been focusing on the very, very basic of basics. And the reason for this is it's fall. Who doesn't love fall? I feel like my family gave up spring. I didn't even plant flowers, you guys. I had like one pot of annuals that died because I didn't water them. We were having a drought. I paid no attention to my yard. We didn't do much for the summer. So between selling the house, packing the house, moving the house, decluttering the house, all of the things, my head has been straight to the grindstone. And so I made a decision moving here because we were hoping and praying to be in Vermont in the fall and for the burr months. Because that's just such a romantic notion, you know, if you watch the Hallmark movies of getting to be in the fall in Vermont and to go through the different seasons, to go through the Christmas season here. And I just decided that it's going to be okay if I take this in short little bites. So on the 20th of September, I'm like, what even month is it? I went to an Airbnb, so I packed for 1 week. And then I was going from the Airbnb to my son's house in Massachusetts to help them out. My daughter Crecia went with me, and from the sunrises out their front window to the sunsets over the bridges, their area is so entirely beautiful. We visited a cat cafe with my daughter-in-law and made lots of new friends. If you've never been to a cat cafe, I highly recommend. I've been to ones that don't actually have a cafe. They just have the cats, but this one did also have a have a cafe, and you pay for a half-hour slot where you're just sitting in a room full of cats, and usually they are available for adoption as well. Some cat cafes can be pricey, but not all of them are, but it's so much fun and it's so relaxing. You should check out in your area to see if you have one. We also got to go on a very beautiful beach walk. It was great for me to get to go to an ocean one last time before heading back inland to Vermont. Even though we're near a lake, there is just something special about the ocean. And look at the architecture that they have in their area. We also found this little friend, horseshoe crab. We also, our last night, got to have a nice seafood dinner with my son and daughter-in-law. And so when I got back here, I was here on the Saturday, which would have been the 27th. Nope, the 20th before I left. If I had my days right. Which I clearly don't. When everything was being moved in. The idea that I had for my husband was for him to pack all of our shelving from the basement in the trailer last, so it would come off first, so that boxes would be put on the shelving. But I feel like I know why, although I haven't actually asked him why. I feel like that didn't happen. It went the opposite, where the shelving was put in first. And I feel like it's because what did we call it? U-Move, or I'm trying to remember the service that we used. I can't remember it right now, but basically, you're filling a tractor trailer and the tractor part. Whatever you use is what you pay for. And so I know my husband was really trying to conserve space to save money. And so the way he put the shelves, you know, he took them apart, and so they're all stacked rectangles. He put all the poles in another box, so I don't even know what poles go with each piece. But he was able to save us money. As a consequence, my garage is a huge pile of boxes. I'm going to give you every satisfying angle. You guys, if you thought you loved my basement declutters, I hope you're going to love my garage declutters that are coming up. You can see we did empty a lot of boxes, and I've got my trash barrels there, and this all needs to be cleaned out before the first snow flies. So we're going to have our job cut out for us, people, and I'm hoping that you're going to join me for it. And there are boxes all over the house. You can also see towels there because I haven't started a solution to our lack of linen closet, and anything that's not being used that was put in bedrooms when the trailer was unpacked, I'm trying to put out in the hallway. This is not even bothering me. I feel like it's all going to happen in time. It's really okay. So, you know, people are unpacking, doing a little bit every day, just like me. And you can see, you know, bathrooms are being used. There's actually a lot of space where I can put shelving in. There's my bedroom in all of its glory, which you're not seeing that side of it because I am folding the laundry. And there is my bathroom as well. And while I was gone, well, the day when everyone was unloading the trailer, which it just kind of happened fast, we had, you know, a blessing of the church that we will be members of, that my son pastors. Men came from there and helped us move everything. One of the young men even was like, I'm not leaving till your beds are all put together. And he was upstairs. I was like, why do I hear noises? And I thought everybody left. And I set my son up. I'm like, I think one of your friends might still be upstairs. Sure enough, he was upstairs putting the beds together. He was like, I am not leaving till the beds are put together. That was a huge blessing. And I did unpack a little bit of the kitchen. I wish I would have filmed it, but I was just in you know, the chaos of moving, and I don't even know if I was self-aware enough to know where my camera was. And then the next morning, when we moved out of the Airbnb, my daughter Creasy and I went straight to Massachusetts. So when I got back here, whew, there was boxes and stuff all over counters and everywhere. I have to say, while we were gone, my husband was dealing with problems like this one, where we had to get an exterminator, and then, of course, there's always things that you're going to need for the condo, although Jabari is loving just being the part of every single thing, thank goodness. And then we also had to get an electrician in here because our clothes dryer is set up for gas and ours is electric. That's actually a dehumidifier. So they also had to go to the laundromat. Oh dear. Dad, what is going on? Ready? Ready? Okay. Oh, my baby. And I just said to my husband, I'm like, I need 30 minutes of your time to just move out everything that we know we don't need to use right away. And it did only take about 30 minutes because most of it was still boxed. We just moved out stuff that was in the kitchen and the living room that did not need to be used so that we at least had that living space. Okay, not counting mother and sleeping child. You can see how we have set up the living room, at least for now, and also the kitchen. This is real life, not cleaning up for you. And I have a desk over there for Rachel in the corner. Unless you think that box is empty. Look at Leo. And that allowed me to have the bandwidth to have my son, daughter-in-law, and 3 grandchildren over for dinner the next day. Having a living room and kitchen, bathrooms, semi-okay. And also because I went to the Airbnb, they had laundry, did laundry. I had a week's worth of clothes, went to Massachusetts. Of course, they had access to laundry, did my laundry, had a week's worth of clothes. I also had gone to Target. We had picked up my rental on Saturday, which was the day everybody was coming to unload the trailer, but I still made it a priority to run to Target, grab some oversized t-shirts and some workout pants because my clothes, I didn't have enough clothes. So that's kind of what I've been living off of using. And so I haven't even delved into extra boxes. I was looking for coat hangers and my husband found some. And there is one dress that we hung in the closet as a result of that, which will give me something to wear this Sunday to church. I did not go to church this Sunday. I got here. It was too overwhelming. My son was coming for dinner with his family, and I also was returning my rental vehicle in Burlington at the airport, so I just could not do that. And, you know, I just needed to have my morning, so that's what I did. And I'll start going to church this Sunday. But so the moral of that story is, yes, we are having my son over, even though we're not unpacked. Yes, I am going apple picking. In fact, we went apple picking yesterday, and I'll pop up some pictures so you can see that.
It was actually about to rain, but check out that gorgeous view. I just love the mountains in the background with all of the colors. We just had the best time, got some delicious apples. Jabari living his best life, loving every minute of it as usual, and drinking up all of the new experiences.
That was so much fun. And I did deliver my granddaughter one day to preschool to help them out, you know, and I am moving in at the speed of life. I'm letting life happen. My husband's back to work. In fact, today's his first day traveling by bus. Even without a bus, it's a 3-hour drive. It'll be longer than that for him. And you know, it's just going to happen. I'm going to live in the chaos as long as I clear out living space, kitchen. And so one of the things I want to show you today is one of my priorities besides, so I had that one day where I said to my husband, give me 30 minutes and just let's just clear this space. Then also on this day, I said to myself, let's get the refrigerator and the pantry set up. The pantry is going to be completely reshelved. The shelves are ridiculous. They don't even go to the back of the wall. So there's so many things about this house I love. The cabinets are in so much better shape. If I can get used to the gas stove, I know having a gas stove is great. I'm getting used to how to clean it. I would love any advice in the comment section below. I love having a microwave over the gas stove. There's a lot of things here that are better quality than what we had in our last home. I appreciate that. I appreciate having a garage. It is my goal to have it cleaned out and fitting my car by winter. And of course, we're redoing the basement. The basement is a hot mess. There is a little bit of stuff I've stored there, but my husband is being very diligent to not let me do that.
I have this little pile by the stairs and then this one shelf beside the stairs. Underneath where the stair section is where our Christmas stuff is. He has a little bit of tools that will move to the garage. And then we have our laundry area that will eventually move to the left when we're able to turn this into a bedroom.
So in these videos, not only do I want to show you the moving in process at the speed of life, coining Dana K. White's comment about decluttering, but so I want to show how we are doing it in real life, in real time. And I also always want to give you cleaning and organizing motivation. And there's going to be, you know, using up small spaces. I would say the condo's bigger with furniture in it. It feels bigger than it did when it was empty, because you just can't like see how big something is. So there's no linen closet, but closets are pretty big. The bathrooms are pretty big. And so I feel like I'm going to be able to find some storage solutions. I feel like it's going to help all of us as I organize and try to get things done. I'm also prioritizing a little bit of fall decor. You won't see in this video, but you'll see it coming up. But it won't be like a fall decor video. I'm not doing that. It's just going to be as life unfolds, just like we do in our real homes when we don't have a YouTube channel. So I hope, you know, as I go, it brings you motivation, maybe new ideas for your home. Maybe permission of whatever those decluttering projects, organizing projects are. Maybe a fresh look at your own house and what you could do differently that would make it run more efficiently. make it less work in the end for you. All of the things are coming up. So let's get to the refrigerator. You'll see me packaging up meat like I've always done and doing all the things. One of the things I had to do, I have quite a bit of the Optivia foods. I had to get that out of the pantry. It just was taking up too much space. I might put it back in like on the floor in a box. Haven't decided. And then let's see. Yeah, so let's get some motivation for you.
Here we have it. I have a side-by-side refrigerator. Never had one before, and I can tell you to say that there is less space in this refrigerator than the one that I had is a really gross understatement because, oh my goodness, you guys. So I'm going to be looking at different videos and getting ideas on how to organize this thing because it is no joke. But thankfully, I am a 3-minute drive from the grocery store. So right now, we're just keeping a very low inventory, but I do have meat in here that needs to be wrapped up and frozen. And I also just need to get things rearranged so that I can see what is what and where everything is. So what I'm going to do is the very bottom drawer is going to be for produce. Then the drawer above it will be for like sausage, bacon, cheese. There's some leftover Chinese food from when I was gone that I'm going to get rid of because honestly, everybody said that they didn't even like that Chinese restaurant. So there's definitely no reason to be keeping the leftovers. Our family has leftover guilt. So I've been trying to kind of like turn the narrative and say, look, if you know you're not going to eat the leftovers, we need to just throw that away and deal with the guilt because I don't like having to throw it away days later. I do still have my little egg saver here, so I can use that. I also have my little container that I put cucumbers in. Other than that, you will see me take the Lazy Susans out. My husband gave it a try. He put two of the Lazy Susans in here, and they're bigger ones. I haven't even uncovered where the rest of them are, but this refrigerator is too small for those. I don't know. Maybe I'll use them in a cabinet. Maybe I'll use them in a laundry room. I'm not ready to declutter them yet until I am completely done organizing the condo because they'd be great for cleaners. They'd be great for spices, although I don't have a spice cabinet big enough. But I'm thinking I might still find a use for them. So I'm going to hold off before I get rid of them and just make sure I can organize everything. So I had these chicken thighs I needed to divide up. That was some leftover takeout pizza. Oh my goodness, can you relate? And then, when you have a bigger container that's holding smaller things, that's an easy thing to get rid of too. I also end up taking the apples out because I decided I don't really need to keep apples in the refrigerator. They will be fine in a bowl on the counter. I have also never had a fridge that has the ice and the water in the side. I honestly did not choose that when we bought our previous refrigerator because it does take up space in the freezer to hold all that. But to be honest, I wasn't even thinking of the fact that I still had an ice cube, square box that ice would fall in. So I guess you lose that space either way. So it is definitely a luxury that we have been enjoying. One thing that I have determination about when it comes to my pantry and my refrigerator right now is that everything I buy, I really want to have a purpose. And honestly, I might be quicker to throw things out that don't have a purpose. I feel like in my last house, we kept way too much inventory of food that we might eat. Way too much. Buying food is so similar to when you go to the hardware store. You go to the hardware store, you need a certain size nail, and you could only buy a box of nails. It's the same at the grocery store. You're going to buy a box of spaghetti, and of course, spaghetti is inexpensive, but you really don't need a whole box, but you have to buy it a whole box. So you either have to be very diligent to get it right back on a meal plan, or it's just going to end up piling up in the pantry. And in our last house, I really did not like how much food I had on hand because I just felt like it became invisible to me. If it wasn't really on the immediate meal plan, it just kind of sat there. And I can understand people wanting to stockpile if you're in an area where you have big storms and it's just a way to stay prepared. Or if you are the type to kind of revolve your stock, you know what I mean? Like if you, it makes you feel better to have 3 cans of green beans, even though you only need one, but you always buy the new ones and you put them in the back. Or if you buy in bulk to save money, like there's so many reasons you would carry extra inventory. But to be honest, at this stage of my life, I'm not an extra inventory girl. Now, we had my son coming over, so I had all this soda on hand, so that's fine. The girls do love soda. For Rachel, she has stomach issues, so a little bit of ginger ale is sometimes healing. It just does the trick, you know. And I just had various sodas for company. So there's the door. Here's where I'm at with the inside of the refrigerator. I definitely want to categorize things more and more so that everything that we buy goes on a certain shelf. Right now, getting that drawer of sausage and cheese and bacon separated from the produce is about as far as I get. And then this onion, it really was on my counter. I don't even know if are you allowed to store onions in the refrigerator? I just was sick of looking at it on the counter, so I needed to either use it or lose it. But yeah, just kind of straightening things up just a little bit. This is definitely not a Pinterest worthy or TikTok worthy refrigerator, but who knows, maybe we'll get there eventually. And then as you guys already know, I like to divide up my meat. I think when you have older kids or kids in sports and activities, or if it's just you and your husband, it's great to do this. So what I do is I individually wrap each portion. I always divide my turkey burger into 4 sections, and I individually wrap things in saran wrap, and then I pop them in a Lock bag, freezer bag, and then I can just take out as many portions as I need on a given night, and then I'm not wasting. Okay, look at me hunting, because I don't know where anything is. I'm not the one who unpacked it, so I'm constantly saying, where's this, where's this, where's this? And I did warn everyone. I'm like, when I get home, I will be literally reorganizing everything. But once I got home and really dove in, I realized it's going to take a while. And then who doesn't reorganize their house? So it's like decluttering. It's going to be a lifelong project, I think, but I'm actually really, really excited about it. I think one thing that, to be honest, it does make things slower is I pick a project, I do the project, I film the project, I edit the project, I upload the project, and then I can start a new project. So it might go slower than it would go in your own home, but I am excited to get to take you guys along on the journey. So it's 1,000% worth it. And I love how we can chit chat in the comments, and I feel like we're doing it together. I would love to know what you're working on in your home. If you want to let me know, are you doing any organizing? Are you doing the 5-minute declutters? Or do you have a decluttering project going? Let me know. What are you working on? What are your little projects? What are you doing for self-care? Are you doing some diamond painting? Do you go to the gym? Do you like bubble baths? What do you like to do? Are you doing cross stitch? I actually have a cross stitch project in my Amazon cart. I think I'm positive. They were Christmas ornaments. Okay, now I've got the chicken thighs going, and I'm going to be dividing those up as well. So I thought it'd be fun if I got some just very small cross stitch projects. One of you had mentioned cross stitch, and I thought, okay, that is a good idea, but I wanted to do something small. Julie, one of you guys here, her name is Julie. She just did a very big project that I saw on Facebook. It was a gorgeous bird, but I feel like I need something very small or I won't ever complete it. Also, I want to get back to my diamond painting. I just kind of uncovered that later in the day. And so I'm excited to get that out where I can use it. And it's just nice to have like a 20-minute break, a half-hour break, or to use things like that at nighttime if we're watching a show on TV. Sometimes I'm kind of too tired to do anything, but I'm too restless to watch television, if you can relate. And I even got out one of my grandkids' coloring books and crayons because I had bought them new crayons. And who doesn't love new crayons? Oh my goodness, I love new crayons. So I got out Eloa's coloring book, and I was using that the other night as I watched TV. And then even Yvonne colored a picture. And then I found I had a Christmas coloring book that showed up on my husband's rotary. I have this bookshelf for him that's kind of turns that we keep in the living room. And somehow a Christmas coloring book ended up on that from the move. So I thought it has like, it's an adult coloring book, so it really has finer, it's finer coloring than would be good for crayons. So I thought about getting some colored pencils or some markers at Walgreens, and I could work on that too. I just like to have something in my hands when I'm relaxing at night. So there's the freezer. It's not looking too bad because we're actually not carrying a lot of inventory. And hey, like I said, it's not perfect, but at least now I know where everything is, and I know we're not going to waste meat if we don't get it all used up. And there's where I have some more packaged things from the freezer section in the grocery store.
The next thing I want to do in the kitchen is to go around the house and get all my straw baskets. Right now they're everywhere and nowhere and full of things. To free them and use them on the top of my cabinets to house some of the smaller appliances that we don't use all the time. That's one of my little storage solutions. So that's coming up. I hope this was motivating to you. Remember, as always, God loves you, I love you too, and I can't wait to see you next time.